Before you comment and think that I'm leaving, do not think that. Do not. Otherwise you'll look a little stupid when I say the next stuff. Hey buddies, it's Will of DAGames, and time for something that I wouldn't usually talk about. I guess I used to talk about it a whole lot back then. I mean, considering the past video that I made back in 2020 with the whole, am I retiring? Which clearly I didn't. But this one's a little different. It's not so much about retirement, it's more so, have I outgrown myself? And I've been asking myself that quite a lot, because if it's no shy thing, obviously I have been making lots of different kinds of content when I'm not just doing DAGames, for instance. I mean, look, if these colors are anything to go by, you got DAGames, you got Iris, you got Bantamation, and you got DW Daily. I mean, there's gonna be another one over here, which is the Will Ryan channel and everything. If you haven't checked that out yet, it's a bunch of original material. If you like our songs...
This is what I'm talking about.
I'm absolutely not shy in promoting anything that we do, especially myself. I'm very proud of the stuff that I do, and as long as I'm having fun doing this thing and you guys are having fun, then this will never end. But there's always a point of being complacent in your lives, and I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with this, where you yearn to do more things than just one thing that you're known for, or the one thing that you've been used to most of your life. It's part of human psychology, if you will. We all grow. We want to do things differently. And some people, they stick with the same career path, but spice it up. You know, that's another thing. I've always been a very soulful person. I've always been someone who likes to do things from the heart. And I feel like in this current generation, I don't see that much. It's more about the grind rather than the heart. And I could be so mistaken. Maybe it's just because of what I'm used to in the zeitgeist of Twitter. I mean, hey, the fact that we're even talking about that site, it's where we get most of our feelings from. I mean, it's all interpretive text, so you never know. But I've also been spending most of my life making music only to be ever recognized in the majority grand scheme as 2015, 2016 Will. Others might be flattered by that. It's fine, not a worry, but it bothers me a lot, because I know that I've been spending more years doing more things. And by now, I would have thought that that would have been the zeitgeist. But every now and then, you'll see a viral tweet go out, and you'll see that my part is in there, but it's always something very old, or people have this very skewed path of what I was when I was younger. And I feel like I have a hell of a lot more to show than that. Instead of sticking around here all the time, that's why I go to several other different places. There's no way I can change people, but I can change my life. Hell, if it's anything to go by, I spent about 5 years doing a lot of Iris material, and really, if you think about it, like whole decade if you're thinking Onyx Colony as well. I have so many original pieces, I have a heart, I have messages that I want to portray, I want growth to happen, and I don't feel like I can do that on this channel. Does that mean I'm gonna go? No, absolutely not. I want to keep doing this, and I'm just gonna keep doing the flow the way that I've been doing it and been happy with doing it. But things are becoming slower on the channel because I am putting my interests into other things too. And at this point, I don't really care what people think. I don't care if people think that I'm just stuck in 2015, 2016. I know different. And in life, the only person you need to prove to is yourself. At that point, you just gotta stay true to your heart. And at that point, that's what I'm doing with mine. So you know me for songs. Absolutely you know me for songs. I still do them elsewhere as well. Later this month, I hope to release my first original single in a long time called Living Life Without the Chord. Actually, about this very subject. The content grind, the algorithm machine, it's basically taking over at the moment. It's a system made by you, actually. The algorithm's a weird one, and we don't like to take accountability for things, but the algorithm only functions because we deliver and we supply it data to work with. It's a self-learning algorithm, so it learns off of you. And as a collective, you've all made sure very well that the algorithm prefers you to upload every day, and maybe in 10 years, every hour, heaven forbid. And the single basically is a vent for me. It's a way to say that I really do not want to live life underneath that machine, and I have a heart and I want to do things without the need of a machine. Especially with this ongoing trope with AI. Let me quench that argument to rest as well. No, I don't agree with AI being profitable. I believe it's a great little tool to help you, but it can't be your only tool. For instance, this single cover right here. I mean, this was done by a regular human being. And also, I drew the concept. This is what it was. You really only need something so simple and then get a concept artist to work the rest. Actually, if you want my opinions on that, really, I mean, it's all done in expressive creative medium through, actually, the Will Ryan Originals channel. We posted a teaser. I posted a teaser. I'm so used to saying we. That's another thing as well. I'm in a team. a lovely team, and I absolutely adore them all to pieces, from Bantamation and DAGames alike. It's always fun to have different people on with me. But at a point, I also lose a bit of my own control, and everybody has their own personal space to be able to make their own content, and I felt like, well, why can't I? For a while, I thought it's because you got DAGames, that is your space. No, not anymore, really. It's a collective team of my best friends who all come together and share a lot of why DAGames is still here today. Doing a series called DA Knockouts, we have animateds that have been spanning for so many years. So much happens, and yeah, there's not so much anything that I have of my own. So that's why I made the Will Ryan channel. That is purely me. Original, not tied to video games. All original stories that I can tell, because that's where my heart is. We've been so used to the grind machine that basically, I just don't like the way the machine's operating. I guess the one gripe that I have is this one objective, definitive way of working through life. It gets preached a lot, like there's only one way, and if you do any other way, then you're unrelatable and invalid, and it doesn't feel right. Because I've been doing content the way that I've been doing for all these years, without needing to do any of that, and I've been successful. And I've seen so many other channels be able to operate the same way. We don't have to upload every single month, we don't have to upload all that time. I mean, it's good to have some consistency, but to expect a piece of content every single week, it's not necessary for some people, you know? You're not even allowed to take a break. You're not allowed to do anything else other than stay in the same lane. And it's frowned upon to be in a different lane, which I completely disagree with. I don't know. Again, I feel like I've far surpassed the needs of the grind machine, and I feel like that's where the argument is. We finally reached that path where that's what I want to do. I want to make things that are like super cool, super imaginative, super creative, and have you guys there. Because there's this whole notion that, you know, we leave when we don't actually leave, we're pursuing other things. In the nerdcore scene, it's a labor of love, so the labor of love comes from the creator, ergo, the creator should be trusted a bit more, right? But thanks to like really, really problematic folks, we have been lumbered in the same box as them. Obviously, if you've been lied to that many times throughout your life, you will have a stronghold too, right? That's the human thing, which nobody's arguing against. You should always have some form of skepticism about you. But I'm talking like a complete shut-off is not necessary either, especially since a lot of us just really want to make content and have fun. And at this point, we're in 2023 and not many people can be trusted, which saddens me, because there are a lot of great people that I know who we can trust, who have places of heart and soul, and it always goes underneath. And that's why I also feel like not only have I grown from this platform, but I feel like I don't fit in. Over the years, I've decided to either be excited and have fun with a project that I want to make, and then I just decide I don't want to do it anymore. And then when I don't want to do it anymore, sometimes I'll want to pick it up again. People are allowed to do that. If you don't know the Artists Conundrum, like, you can have a big rambunctious feeling one day and then not feel it the next. And if you've run out of passion for a while, you can return to it. Biggest example, I stopped liking music for a long time, but then I came back. I guess the lesson I learned there was sometimes things can change. And we've got this whole thought process now where people aren't allowed to change. Exhibit A, having a project, going back on it, and then coming back to it. Exhibit B, the way we see content creators 5 years ago as opposed to our current day. As it stands today, people think I only made Break My Mind, or things like Build Our Machine. If you look at our channel, you couldn't be any more wrong. As a testament, a lot of people think I may have only done DAGames, only ever done Break My Mind or Build Our Machine or Among Us and all of that. But that's so wrong. For instance, Iris, Dawn of the Demetrix, made it into the top 10 metal charts on Apple Music consecutively, and had several of the singles featured on curated Spotify playlists. And over on Bantamation, we have very successful videos at the moment. Here's our most successful videos at the moment, with God of War speedrun at 2 million views. 2 million people watched God of War speedrun, and yet there's still a lot of people who are insistent we have done nothing. See what I'm getting at here? There's no point in trying to chase people and saying, hey, we do more things. There's literally no point. You'll be tiring yourself out, you become so arrogant, and then you end up just not looking nice, which is another weird thing. What, just because I'm promoting my stuff? There's no problem with that. I swear, if you had a project you were proud of, you'd do the same. And then comes the other thing, which is, I do feel alone in this particular scene. I always felt like I have been somewhat. Now, that's just imposter syndrome at its best. I know I have plenty of friends, and I know I have plenty of great people who I've worked with over the years, and I know none of them think of me ill will. At least I hope. Again, Imposter Syndrome. But I see everybody boasting with each other about each other's projects and songs on Twitter, and they always promote each other, having fun, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I know I sound arrogant when I do, but there's nothing wrong with that. I don't get that from the people in my scene. I sometimes feel like I'm washed out and left alone. That's kind of where I'm at. All of these reasons to suspect that I have outgrown the platform, and I do yearn for something bigger, something grander. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm currently writing stories. I'm taking Iris and making a huge book series out of it. I'm doing original content now, hoping to touch on the regular market, expand and hopefully start making comic books. You know, all these things, and an animation channel that's already kind of doing super well at the moment. For what it's worth in this day and age, it's really hard to get up there in animation. So to say we've been doing what we've been doing for this long has been great. The easy way of my life, the easy way, is to make more music central around indie horror games. Again, staying in the same lane, which for many people is fine, but I've never liked that. It feeds a machine that keeps getting more demanding each day. Eventually, it'll come to a part where humans just cannot comprehend the amount of pressure that's needed, to a point where we'll then be losing jobs in favor of AI technologies, which I certainly am against. And I don't want to not be unique. I want to be unique. So again, the burning question, have I outgrown it? Yes, I have. Will I go? No. Absolutely not. As I said at the very beginning, I'm still enjoying doing the things that I do. I like making stuff still. I like songs, you know? Yeah, sure, I still don't take requests.
And I never will.
But I'd like to think if I touched on something, it's fine. I am making a Poppy Chapter 2 song. And I am making a Dark Revival song. The thing is, it's not because somebody said in the comment section I should make it. I listen to me. And that's the most important part of being a creator, is you sometimes have to listen to yourself and put yourself in your own shoes. Ground yourself, bring yourself back down, and do the things that you really want to do. And that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll be damned if I'm called lazy. That is not my identity. I'm just exploring so many different horizons, and I'm pretty sure you'll find me there one day. That's my goal. That's my passion. That's my dream. Hopefully one day, maybe get an anime adaptation out of one of my stories. That would be really cool. Maybe make a video game down the line. I've been wanting to make a video game for so long, and maybe that might happen. And that's because I left my heart open to be able to do that kind of thing, because I love all forms of media. I don't like staying in one lane, and that's why I'm going to continue being in multiple lanes all at once. This was oddly refreshing. I don't get to talk about this stuff, especially not in front of a camera. And maybe sometimes I should just record it and never upload it. Some sort of therapy. But it lets me exuberate emotions that I would oftentimes bottle up. I have friends that I can talk to, but I don't get to talk like this, as expressive and as passionate as I can. Some people find that annoying. You know, oh my god, geez, you don't have to shout. Ears bleeding. I really like bending! But it's true, I do. This is all me, and I like to do that thing. With that, guys, I'm gonna get going. Thanks so much once again for still sticking with us throughout this journey. We're not going anywhere, and we're gonna be having some really cool content this year as of that video. Otherwise, if you're new here, consider subscribing, share it with friends or family, maybe your dog. Check out DAGames Official on Twitter for news, information, and music, animations, let's plays, and live streams. And well, this is how I feel, and I'm not gonna stop. And if you're one of those that agree, if you're one of those that are around, guess I'll see you real soon. Peace out!